Hello everybody. Today we're going to continue our work with combining our skills of addition and subtraction strategies and rounding to the nearest 10 or 100. And today we're going to focus on subtraction. So today is going to be very similar to what we had on Tuesday, except that we're going to look at how this works with subtraction. So again, we will use rounding to get an estimate of a close answer, and which is a difference in subtraction. The answer to a subtraction problem is called a difference. And then we'll find the actual difference. So let's take a look at our example today. Mr. Williams owns a gas station. He sells 586 liters of gas every day. He sells 367 liters of gas in the mornings and some more in the afternoons. How much does he sell in the afternoons? So the first part, part A, says to estimate the amount of gas Mr. Williams sells in the afternoons by rounding. So once again, we want to think about what's the overall number sentence, math that's being asked here, and then we can go to the rounding. So we know Mr. Williams sells 586 liters of gas every day, and he sells 367 liters in the morning and some more in the afternoon. And we need to figure out how much he sells in the afternoon. So if I take away what he sells in the morning from his total amount he sells every day, I will then find out how much he sells each afternoon. So my number sentence will be 586 minus 367. Now remember, right now, all we're asked to do is to find the estimate. We don't need to actually solve the exact answer yet, so we're going to focus on our estimate. And remember, we can either choose to round to the nearest 10, or we can choose to round to the nearest 100. When you do your assignment today, you do not need to do both. I am modeling both for you so that you can see how it works out and compare which one is more accurate and to see which one you prefer. But you will get to choose today. So let's take a look at rounding to the nearest 10 for both of these parts of our subtraction problem. If I have 586 and I round that to the nearest 10, I would have 590, because 86 is closer to 90 than it is to 80. And then I would subtract, let's see, 367 rounded to the nearest 10. Well, that's going to be 370 because 67 is closer to 70. So if I subtract this is a nice simple subtraction. I can do 500 minus 300 is 200. 90 minus 70 is 20. So my estimate here is 220 liters of gas. So that's about how much I think he sells in the afternoons. Now let's take a look at when we round to the nearest 100. If I take 586 and round that to the nearest 100, I get 900, not 900, I was thinking of the 8 rounding up. It's 600, right? Closest to 600, not 500. And if I subtract 367 rounded to the nearest 100, well, I'm going to round up because it's 60. So that's going up to the next 100, so minus 400. So 600 minus 400 is 200. So my estimate when I round to the nearest 100 is 200. Okay, once again, let's take a look and compare. So we've got 220 as our estimate and 200 as an estimate. Both are pretty close. So we know that when we solve our subtraction problem of 586 minus 367 for the exact answer, the actual amount, we should get something close to 200 or 220. If I end up with something like 150, I'm going to know that I'm probably incorrect and I've made an error somewhere. So now part B says, calculate the actual amount of gas that Mr. Williams sells in the afternoon. So let's actually solve 586 minus 367. And I'm going to model using equations, since that's what I want everyone to be moving toward. So I'm going to keep my first number here solid. I'm not going to break that apart when I do subtraction because that can cause a lot of confusion. So I'm going to keep that whole. But I am going to break apart 367. I'm going to start by just taking away the 300. So 586 minus 300 will give me 286. I'm not touching the tens or the ones. I'm not taking any of them away. I'm just focused on the hundreds. So now I have 286, and now I want to take away my tens. So I'm going to take away 60. Well, I know I'm still going to have 200 left. I'm not touching my hundreds here. 80 minus 60 is going to be 26. I know I still have 6 left because I'm not taking away any ones, right? Now I have 226, and I want to take away 7. Ooh, now this is a little tricky because I see that I don't have enough ones. So I think instead of taking away 7, I'm going to take away 6. That's nice and easy. Then I know I have 220, and I still have one more to take away because I only took away 6, and I wanted to take away 7. And I know that would get me 219. So my exact answer, the real actual answer to my question of how much gas Mr. Williams sells in the afternoon is 219. I'm going to put it right back up here, and let's compare to our estimates. I said when I rounded to the nearest 10 that he sold about 220 liters of gas in the afternoons. Wow, guys, one off. Our estimate was super, super close to the exact. When I rounded to the nearest 100, I wasn't quite as close, but I'm still pretty close. I was only 19 off. So this tells me that I'm probably on the right track with my exact answer, and my estimates gave me a pretty close guess of about how much Mr. Williams sells in the afternoons. So when you go ahead and solve today, you're going to choose whether you're going to round to the nearest 10 or the nearest 100 on the word problem. Make sure you show your work like this. Show me your number sentence. And then you're going to solve for the exact answer and decide, was your estimate close? Let me know that, yes or no. Good luck, have fun, and let me know if you need